Hi there, everybody. Welcome to the 4 to 5. Eric Chilton here. Who are you people? I haven't worked with you in so long.
I know, it's been forever.
Lauren and Chad and Eric.
Hey, guys.
Probably a couple of weeks that all three of us have stood at this table at the same time.
True.
Well, it feels great to have the gang all back together again. And thanks for watching us on News 2, Fire Stick, Roku, and the News 2 app.
And coming up this half hour, we're going to talk about the best ways to leave negativity in 2022.
That is a good one. Leave it behind. But first, we do have some big news we need to discuss right now. The community is in mourning for the death of a Greensboro businesswoman. Police say 32-year-old Natasha Walker was shot on Cridland Road near East Wendover Avenue. It happened Sunday morning just before 2 o'clock, the first homicide of 2023.
A family member told us Walker ran several businesses and was a mother of two. Her cousin says they were actually out celebrating New Year's Eve when someone shot her.
She loves to dance, but not as much as I do. So, I just called. I was like, hey, friend, come do the dance with me, Didn't know that would be my last dance. It means so much.
Police have not made any arrests and a motive is unclear. We'll hear more from her family coming up at 5.
In Winston-Salem, the first homicide in the new year was also a young woman. Police say Rick Monroe Jr. killed Deja Gentry on Sunday. They say it happened at the Microtel Inn on Capitol Lodging Court. Investigators believe the shooting involved some sort of domestic situation. Monroe is charged with manslaughter and has a $1 million bond.
A teenager with special needs who had been missing has police clearing up some confusion. It's never too early to report someone as missing. Maybe you've heard that you need to wait 12 hours, but that's not true. Police say the sooner the better. WFMY News 2's Amber Lake found out why and has an update on the boy.
On New Year's Day, an Alamance County family started panicking when 17-year-old Cody Bramer, who has a cognitive impairment, wandered away from home. Thankfully, the teen was found and is back home safe, but the family says they waited to report him missing, delaying a start to search efforts. This is because they were under the impression that they had to wait a certain amount of time before reporting a missing person. That is wrong. According to the Alamance County Sheriff's Office, no matter who it is, your grandparent, your child, your spouse, anyone you are responsible for, if they go missing, immediately alert authorities right away. The reason for this is so departments are able to determine what resources they can use. In this specific case, because of the teen's cognitive impairment, the Sheriff's Office was able to get boots on the ground and form search parties to help search the area around Union Ridge Road in Burlington.
The other thing about that is if we know it immediately, then not only through our officers and bringing in other organizations to help us find the missing person, but we can also start hitting social media, rely on you folks at News 2 to help us get the word out so more and more people are knowing it.
Now, I was also able to speak with Cody Bramer's family about this situation. You can hear from them ahead at 5 o'clock.
Amber, thank you. Greensboro police are still looking for a missing 20-year-old who they believe could be in danger. Family reported Nicholas Sneed missing 2 days before Christmas. He was last seen driving this black Infiniti. Sneed lives in High Point, but he was last seen in Greensboro while Christmas shopping.
In case you missed it, there's a new round of North Carolina laws. Most of them probably you won't notice, but some could impact your day-to-day. Be on the lookout. The state income tax will drop from 4.99% to 4.75%. However, North Carolina's gas tax is going up. Changes are also coming to law enforcement agencies going forward. All officers must undergo mandatory mental health training, and courts are tightening punishment for people caught rioting. In Washington, lawmakers are embarking on a new session. Right now, we're taking a live look at the U.S. Capitol, where business resumes tomorrow. One of the important topics of discussion will be the vote for the Speaker of the House.
Republican leader Kevin McCarthy wouldn't say whether he'll need to cut more deals to be the next Speaker of the House.
I hope you all have a very nice week.
McCarthy held a conference call with House Republicans Sunday, making concessions in order to win more votes for the speakership. He agreed to rule changes, including the ability of any 5 members of the majority party to initiate a vote to remove the speaker. He also agreed to establish select committees to investigate President Biden's COVID and border policies. and to reviews of the FBI and DOJ's investigations into former President Trump and the January 6th riots.
He stood there in front of the conference and went through item by item and helped negotiate a rules change package that was broadly endorsed, including changes that I personally wouldn't have done.
Most Republicans support McCarthy, but the GOP holds such a narrow majority in the House, he can only afford to lose 4 votes before falling under the 218 vote threshold to win the speakership.
If 5 or 6 people hold out, all we're really doing is empowering the other side.
One Republican who says he will support McCarthy is embattled New Yorker George Santos. The Long Island congressman-elect is under scrutiny after admitting much of the biography he presented to voters is false.
This is a decision, whether he resigns or stays, that needs to be made between he and the voters who elected him. He's certainly going to have to consider resigning.
Santos says he plans to take the oath tomorrow, though he could face ethics charges once he's sworn into office.
You know, the big story for us weather-wise has been mild conditions and then fog, too. Last night and early this morning, the fog was no joke out there. We could see that again tonight and tomorrow. We got to get the ground dry a little bit. Not going to help that we see some rain coming in possibly Tuesday night and definitely during the day on Wednesday. Temperatures right now made it up to 59 degrees so far in Greensboro. It's not the official high, but we're getting close. 57 in High Point and 64 for Asheboro. You look at the overnight lows tonight. So clouds move in, 49 degrees. I think in the overnight period, maybe after midnight, we see a few showers. That will continue during the day tomorrow. It's a 70% chance of a shower coming in on your Tuesday and into Wednesday, really. That's when we see the heaviest rain chances. Cloud cover not all that strong right now. I want to go out to the wide shot so you can see the approaching system. Yeah, that's the Tuesday night into Wednesday showers. Again, going from about a 30% chance Tuesday night into a 70% chance on Wednesday. And here's why. High pressure off the coast, that's kept us warm for a while. Our winds around that high coming in out of the south. And that will keep us mild again tomorrow, but things will change toward the end of the week. Here's the front that brings a little rain, we think. That's that Tuesday night into Wednesday. So you see that some of the rain out ahead of the front. The timestamp here, that's 6:25 p.m. tomorrow evening. And then all day on Wednesday, on again, off again showers. A lot of that moisture streaming right up that cold front and a decent amount of rain too. Here's our futurecast. We freeze it here. This is at about 12:45 a.m. on Wednesday, so technically Tuesday night, and then you see the heavier rains coming in during the day on Wednesday. Tonight, mostly cloudy, that low of 49. Here's your 7-day forecast, and we show you the whole ball of wax here. 64, in fact, we stay in the mid-60s for Tuesday and Wednesday. That's a rainy Wednesday. When we get to Thursday, things start to change. The front starts to clear, and then we see that 58-degree high temperature. How about only 49? Now, that sounds cold. That's our normal high this time of the year. Sunshine, 49 for Friday, Saturday, 51 on Sunday, and 52 partly cloudy by Monday of next week.
NBA player and Triad native Bam Adebayo is expanding the horizons of young men in Greensboro.
Bam, bam! Who y'all do it for?
It's for my mother.
Bam, bam!
Trip to Miami like no other.
Bam, bam!
On the Lakers dropping double-doubles.
Bam, bam! Who y'all rolling with?
These are my brothers.
Bam, bam!
Thank you for the opportunity.
A great video there. The BAM Books and Brotherhood Foundation took 10 high school students to Miami. The trip was part of the group's holiday expedition aimed at providing diverse experiences to kids. The teens got to eat at fancy restaurants, attend science and agriculture workshops, and visit the University of Miami. Bam grew up in High Point and created the foundation to enrich the communities he says poured into him. What a cool trip.
I love that. I love the chant they were doing in that video here. What I love about this, it's great that they had that STEM element, but just even going to fancy restaurants.
That's what I was going to say.
I think that's awesome, especially to young people, and it goes to show if you work hard, you can, enjoy the luxury life. And I think a lot of kids might not have even been to a restaurant like that before.
I remember having to learn that on my own. My parents, we didn't do that a lot growing up. So after I got into college and we'd go places, I'm like, what's that fork for?
Right, why are
what's
there two
this
forks?
plate for?
Yeah.
And I had to kind of learn it on my own. And I wish my parents had taught me. So we make sure we teach all of our kids. We take them to fancy restaurants, even as younger kids, and say, here's how you do it. It's important.
It is important because you're going to need that throughout the rest of your life.
And what a trip. I mean, to go to Miami.
Oh my gosh.
Look at that car.
I mean,
I mean,
Serious.
they were in Miami living.
Yeah,
that is
absolutely.
really cool.
That is
Great experience.
I love that he's doing this. And you know, young kids, young people look up to athletes. They look up to musicians. So it's great that he's pouring into his community
I love it.
and really giving them back in such a great way. I'm sure that impacted a lot of those young boys' lives.
We need to say, bam, bam, the 4 to 5 will be right back.
Yeah, bam,
That's how we do
bam,
it.
the 4 to 5 will be right back.
We'll be
Bam,
back in a
bam, the 4 to 5 will be right back. Bam, bam, the 4 to 5 will be right
We're
back.
keeping it going
I
here.
know. Okay, all right.
Does this help at all? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Hello, hello. Woo! Okay, panic time averted. All right, I'm talking about what you need to leave behind in 2022.
It's a new year when most people start fresh. However, we know that isn't always easy. Sometimes old baggage, it finds its way into the new year.
Absolutely. Psychology expert Blanca Cobb has some advice for leaving behind the drama in order to have a smashing 2023. Blanca, why is it so important to get rid of the negative stuff? Obviously, there are a lot of things about that.
Yeah, just realize this. Anything that held you back, that didn't let you live the life or be who you wanted to be, is not a good thing to have in your life. Because why? You're going to have a repeat, and it's going to be, instead of Groundhog Day, it's going to be Groundhog Year, and nobody wants that.
So Blanca, you say leave mistakes and resentments behind. I know I personally can say that is difficult to do. So tell us more about that.
Well, the reason you want to leave mistakes and resentments behind is because you tend to ruminate. And what that means is that you think about it over and over. I wish I did, or what if I had done this, or what if that didn't happen? So you have all this mental energy about the what ifs or all the negativity that it stops you from thinking about the positives and the possibilities that are in front of you. So that's why you just really have to find a way to let it go.
That's good.
Yeah, why is it important to leave certain people behind, and how do you do it effectively?
That's a tough one, because sometimes the people who we are closest to are the ones we really need to leave behind, because they're not supportive. They don't support our dreams. They're critical of us. They're passive aggressive when we tell them about exciting news or our hopes or our or our ideals. And that is so difficult. But this is where you just have to say, look, I can still love them at a distance. I can still love them, but they don't need to be a part of my immediate circle. And that's where you have to find people who really support you and love you, to huddle around you, because you need that support to move forward. If you think about it, companies aren't made by one person. It's a team of people. It's the same with life. So you have to keep that in mind.
I think that's so important, because I always say you can't expect different results if you keep doing the same thing. If you know you want to cut back on partying or you want to cut back on drinking, you can't keep hanging around the same group of people. You have to find people who have similar values in order to have that fresh start.
I think probably, Blanca, obviously I want your opinion on this, but I imagine that it's difficult to sometimes figure out who needs to be left behind.
Oh, it definitely can be, but this is where you need to put more like your detective skills on, turn those on, and just really sit back and watch what happens when you share stories, when you share news. How are they really supporting you? Are they being passive aggressive? Are they backhanded compliments? Or are they really saying, great, you can do this. You may have had an obstacle, but you can really do this. I believe in you. How can I help? Or if I can't help you, I got a friend, or I know somebody who can talk to you. Watch their actions, not just listen to their words. That's critical in finding out who really is supporting you.
And who adds value to your life? Not just tangible things, but do they add positivity? Do they add encouragement, as you said? But I think just really seeing, how does this person make me better, make my situation better?
That's a great point.
Yeah, lots of great stuff to talk about, but we can continue the conversation with Blanca on her Facebook page, Blanca Cobb, body language expert. We'll be right back.
The weather word last couple of days have been fog, and that was last night. We'll probably expect to see that again tomorrow morning and tonight as well, so just know that that possibility exists. We did have a dense fog advisory this morning for a while all across the Piedmont Triad, but hour by hour tonight, due to the amount of cloud cover, I don't think we're going to drop all that quickly. Notice we're anywhere between mostly cloudy and partly cloudy pretty much all night. Temperatures going down to the mid 50s and holding there as late as midnight. And best case scenario for us, or I could say worst case if you don't like the cold weather, is about a 49-degree overnight low. I think that's where we're going to end up tonight. Cloud cover out there, it's variably cloudy to mostly cloudy. That'll hold through the night and into tomorrow. Here's our next system now. Low pressure center, a lot of rain with this one, but it's kind of sporadic, right? By the time that gets to us, it goes through a lot of changes, and we're left with on again, off again showers starting overnight Tuesday night, lasting through the day Wednesday. And then we go through a clear period, although it gets cooler, and we go back to normal. Funny, our overnight low tonight is forecasted for 49. That's our normal high temperature this time of the year, just to show you how warm we really are. Okay, here's the systems. High pressure off the coast, clockwise winds around that brings our winds out of the south. May get a little bit breezy tomorrow too. We think we could see some wind gusts up to 25 miles per hour thereabouts. So we stay warm. Mid-60s for the next 2 days until this cold front goes through. Tuesday night, overnight, this is in the evening, Tuesday at 6:25 p.m. But then you can see late into the night, the rain comes through, stays with us during Wednesday. This is Wednesday at noon. I think by Wednesday evening, that front will clear us, and then we're in decent shape heading into Thursday. Again, here's that 1 a.m. rain, a lot of it between Charlotte, the Queen City, and up toward the Triad. And then the heaviest rains come through during the day on Wednesday, and I would say first half of the day. So kind of think about that. Your morning commute back into work would be a little rainy, could be heavy at times. And again, we're hoping all this is out of here by Wednesday afternoon, definitely into the evening. This is at about 4:20. We're looking at more clouds than not, but then breaks in the clouds as we head into Wednesday night and Thursday. And then we get much cooler. Again, that overnight low tonight, 49 degrees, that's our normal high. Winds out of the southwest, 5 to 10 miles per hour. And clouds again tomorrow with a shower, that's more overnight, remember Tuesday night, but 64 for the high tomorrow. Remaining in the mid-60s, we hold there for Tuesday, Wednesday, clearing out 58, partly cloudy Thursday. We're sunny Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Good weekend, but cooler. Highs back around 50 where we should be. And Monday of next week, 52 and partly cloudy.
January 2nd is World Introvert Day. The day serves as an opportunity for people around the globe to better understand and appreciate introverts. So an introvert is best defined as someone who focuses on internal feelings rather than external sources of stimulation. They're often described as being quiet, reserved, and introspective. So in light of the day, I asked you on my Facebook page, what is the best way to spend alone time? Renee Roser says, I treat myself to a movie and a nice dinner. I am currently waiting on John Wick 4 in March. Shervana Warren wrote, I like to sit outside, read a book, or do a crossword puzzle and reflect on life. No phone, just peace. Gary Fox says golfing and fishing. And David Cornelius wrote, I have kids, so usually locked in the bathroom. So I'm sure a lot of the parents can relate to that, Eric.
That's one of my friends says that he goes, I go in to use the restroom. He goes, sometimes I'm just on my phone just because I need private time.
Just reading the instructions on the back of the shampoo.
I've done that before, and
break.
Drew has come up. I'm like, what? I said, I'm in the restroom. But can you do this, that, and the other? They don't.
That's
wait.
So funny.
Have you ever taken a nap in there?
No, but I would.
He does that in the closet
I would.
instead.
That's right. Lay down before.
I know for me, I wouldn't consider myself an introvert, but being a single woman, I do spend a lot of time alone, and I've learned to have fun, by myself, and I usually do that by working out or maybe going for a walk. I like to cook. You see me post a lot of my recipes on Facebook, so I like to cook, play some music, drink a glass of wine while I do that, or even just order a pizza and binge watch some of my favorite TV shows. That's enough to keep me happy.
My wife says this about me, and I think it's true too. I think you're probably like, I have trouble relaxing. I have trouble sitting still.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
I know it's ADHD stuff for me, but it's like I have trouble. She'll say, can you not talk and just like listen to nature for a minute and talk?
Just listen to the birds. So is there anything you can do that requires some type of movement that you can do alone, whether it's going to a golf range or going to a batting cage or something?
I love, this is strange, but I love just driving. I like to get out and drive. And if I see something I want to stop and go in a restaurant, I like to get 2 or 3 hours to just drive around and listen to podcasts. I do love that.
And I'm like, I just don't like to be alone.
Yeah, me either.
I love to have people
at
around.
all times, like
basically, yeah.
Wow, that's okay too.
And I love the way that how you read this in here. Rather than external sources of stimulation, I am the king of external sources.
Yes, you like to be around the people, be in the party.
Yeah, me too.
Absolutely.
And I like being around people too, but I think it's some positive benefits from spending some time by yourself.
It's healthy. My wife's like, you need some more alone time to be healthy.
Yeah.
Mentally healthy.
Yeah.
Just go in the bathroom.
Read the shampoo bottle.
That's right. Hey, if you haven't checked out our 4 to 5 live stream, you are missing out. We talk about things that we don't discuss here on the news. We even have an exclusive Facebook group. It's called the 4 to 5 Club. Just search for it on Facebook and click join. We'll be right back.
Mic check 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10. It's not on your left finger. Mic check 1 2 3.
It's not, but certain.
Mic check. Mic check. Mic.
Welcome back to the 4 to 5. Eric Chilton here with Chad Silver and Lauren Coleman. Amanda Ferguson's over there. We'll talk to her in a minute.
More big news from her in a second, but want to thank you for watching us on News 2, Fire Stick, Roku, and also on the News 2 app.
The gang's all here.
We're back.
It's good to see you both again in the same place at the same time.
I missed you guys, but I enjoyed watching your Facebook posts.
That's what I was about to say. Look at his with the snow, man. That was incredible. When you went home,
it was cold. But yeah, go check out my Facebook page. We went on a sleigh ride through the woods, and it looked like a postcard.
It looked like Alaska.
You got to do a 2 cents about it now.
Yeah, you should.
Okay, I will. All right, this week we'll do that.
Well, we start with developing news on the Carolina Panthers. The hunt for the playoffs is over, but the search for head coach is just beginning.
The big question now, will interim coach Steve Wilks get the permanent job? WFMY News 2's Amanda Ferguson has some perspective.
Well, we don't know if we're looking at the Panthers' next head coach just yet, but interim head coach Steve Wilks has built a strong argument of why he deserves a serious look at the position. The Panthers started out 1-5, fired head coach Matt Rule, and traded away their best player, Christian McCaffrey. You would have thought Wilks was set up for failure, but instead he carried playoff hopes into Week 17. He was asked today if he thinks he did enough to earn the job.
That's not my call, and to be quite honest, I'm not focused on that. As I told you guys from day one, I have 13 weeks, and my focus is just trying to win the day. And my focus right now is trying to make sure that we finish the right way. And as I told those guys, men, they're going to find a way to finish, and that's what we have in that locker room. We have men in there. So I'm very positive that we're going to bounce back, and that's where my focus is.
He has one more game to coach for sure with the Panthers. Carolina heads to New Orleans this Sunday.
Amanda, thanks. We asked you on Facebook if you'd like to see Coach Wilks stay. You got kind of a broad range of comments here. Roy Richmond says, yes, let him stay as head coach. I think the team will play different next year. Brian Troutman says he believes Wilks should get one chance, and if the team starts losing, then they should switch coaches. Frank Bruno wants the team to look at every option. He says Wilks did a good job, but there may be better options available. And Michael McFadden says he thinks the team will part ways with Wilks and find someone well known in the NFL.
So I think first step would be for them to look just to see what's out there, right? You know they're doing that probably.
I think they have to
already.
do that.
Yeah, you have to do that. But he hasn't had a chance yet. If you're really going to consider him and you're not just looking for someone else, he needs a whole season at least to. He inherited a team that was in disarray.
Right. I was talking to one of our producers earlier today, and she was saying how Wilks is from North Carolina, so a lot of people have been rallying around him, and they love that pride and support. So maybe they're going to look for somebody who actually lives in North Carolina or is from the area.
I like him. I've liked him from the first game that he coached this season. So I think that the players have rallied around him. I think he would do a really good job.
And impressive stats. I mean, just the stats that you were giving about how, usually you can't expect a new interim coach to come in and start winning games.
In the beginning when they fired Matt Rule, we were all talking, me and Sean and Jalen were talking about how this is really unfair for him because he's the only one losing out in this, and he's kind of the one that's winning so far.
I don't know, this is what you see in post-game that we don't get to see, but his demeanor, Wilks' demeanor, he just seems to be an even-keeled, no-nonsense football guy.
And I think that's what the players have liked about him.
Sometimes they call it, a player's coach. They'll say he's a player's coach, and that may be the case. So
all right,
we'll see.
We will see.
All right, we'll also see a forecast. Let's talk about that. We've got some rain on the way, not for today. It's kind of delayed a little bit, but I think we're going to get that back in the forecast by Tuesday night. So just tonight, the biggest issue would be fog, and that's late night. If you have to be out anywhere very late or early in the morning, probably run into that. We'll see if they issue another dense fog advisory at the National Weather Service, but that is a possibility, so just think about that. These temperatures, they aren't changing very much, are they? In fact, they sort of kind of a teeter-totter between 53 and 54 from about 10 p.m. till 2 a.m. But I think by the time we get to tomorrow morning, we'll drop down to about 49 degrees, I think. So cloud cover, kind of a mostly cloudy sky tonight ahead of this next system. Now, it'll take its time to get here. It's all the way back out toward Memphis, Tennessee right now, but it's getting here little by little. The high pressure off our coast with the clockwise flow of winds, that means that our winds are coming like this out of the south, and it could be a little bit breezy tomorrow with the approach of that front, so watch for winds winds to gust up to maybe even 20, 25 miles per hour tomorrow. A little breezy in the morning and then probably getting windier during the day. The approach of this front does bring the rain. So think about this. It'll be overnight Tuesday night. So not during the day tomorrow. And we're still very mild with the southwest winds ahead of that front. We'll stay in the mid 60s, I think, for tomorrow and Wednesday. The only difference is Wednesday we have that front actually moving through. We'll stop it right here. That's Wednesday at noon. The front's right over us. So probably the heaviest showers first half of the day. We're thinking by afternoon it's more of a mostly cloudy to variably cloudy sky, and then by evening it'll all be gone. The Tuesday night rain, as you see, not quite as impressive as what we get on Wednesday, and really from Charlotte up through the Triad that morning we could see heavier showers on and off for the first half of the day. And as we look at the timestamp, this is at 4:35 p.m. on Wednesday, and we're already starting to clear back toward the mountain communities. So watch for that. Here's the 7-day forecast. Let's give you everything here. 30% chance that is overnight Tuesday night. Into Wednesday, 70% chance. Rainiest day of the week, Wednesday. Clearing out and we start to cool down. 58, partly cloudy Thursday. Then we're back to normal. It sounds cold, but that's our average high right now, 49. That's for Friday and Saturday. Overnight lows in the upper 20s. And by Sunday, Monday, we'll get back to the low 50s and lows pretty much around the freezing mark.
New details are unfolding after police arrested a man accused of killing 4 college students in Idaho. Police in Pennsylvania arrested 28-year-old criminology student Brian Koberger on Friday.
The families of the 4 victims say the arrest brings them hope, but there are still a lot of unanswered questions.
Investigators are combing through every aspect of suspect Brian Koberger's life as they try to piece together a possible motive in the murders of 4 University of Idaho college students.
We're trying to build this picture now of him, who he is, his history, how we got to this event.
Law enforcement sources say FBI agents tracked the 28-year-old's movements days leading up to his arrest at his parents' home in eastern Pennsylvania. It's located more than 2,500 miles from the house in Moscow, Idaho, where Koberger is accused of stabbing Kaylee Gonzalez, Madison Mogan, Xana Kernodle, and Ethan Chapin while they were sleeping on November 13th. Gonzalez's father says their arrest brings some relief.
This is the first bit of joy that we've had in close to 7 weeks. We hope they picked the right guy, and that gives us hope, and we haven't had hope for a long time.
Koberger is a PhD criminology student at Washington State University and lived in Pullman, Washington, about a 15-minute drive from the victims. Police haven't found a murder weapon or said if Koberger knew the students. Law enforcement sources say forensic analysis allegedly linked him to the murders. The public defender representing Koberger in the extradition says about a month after the murders, his client went on a road trip home to Pennsylvania with his father that was planned at the beginning of the semester. They were in a white Hyundai Elantra, is the same make and model of the vehicle spotted near the scene of the murders.
The police department believes that the person we have in custody, which would be Koberger, is the one who's responsible for these crimes.
In their first statement, the family of Brian Koberger said they care deeply for the 4 families who have lost their children. They also said they are fully cooperating with police. This is a developing story. We'll keep you posted.
All right, let's get to your 4 to 5 roundup now. First up today, someone shot and killed a well-known Greensboro businesswoman over the weekend. 32-year-old Natasha Walker died in a shooting on Cridland Road just after midnight on New Year's Day. A family member told us Walker ran several businesses and was a mother of 2. They were out with Walker celebrating New Year's Eve when someone shot her. Police have not made any arrests and a motive is unclear. A former Burlington Assistant Police Chief has died. Stephen Black died Friday at Moses Cone. He was an Alamance County native and served for 30 years before retiring. The department described him as someone who was larger than life with a passion for community and service. He was 62 years old. The former drummer of the legendary band Earth, Wind & Fire died yesterday. The music group posted a tribute to Fred White, who joined the band in 1974 alongside his brothers. Aside from his work with Earth, Wind & Fire, Fred played for Donny Hathaway, Ramsey Lewis, and The Emotions. He was 67 years old. And tributes are pouring in for Gangsta Boo, affectionately known as the First Lady of Southern Rap. She was from Memphis and a former member of rap group 3 6 Mafia. Police found her dead last night, but aren't saying how she died. She was 43.
Thousands of people are offering a final goodbye to Pope Benedict. He died Saturday at the age of 95. He's now lying in state at St. Peter's Basilica in Rome. He will be buried by his successor, Pope Francis, this week.
People hoping to say a final goodbye to Pope Benedict XVI poured into St. Peter's Square throughout the day, waiting for the chance to walk past his body lying in state.
He was a great pope. He was a marvelous pope.
Before the crowds arrived, Benedict's closest aides prayed over him in a monastery at the Vatican. Some touched his hands wrapped in rosary beads. A silent procession in the still dark morning hours took the Pope Emeritus to St. Peter's Basilica. The basilica's archpriest blessed his body with holy water and incense before the doors opened to the public. Pope Benedict will lie in state for 2 more days before his funeral here at the Vatican. On Monday, the Vatican has confirmed he will be buried alongside other popes in the grotto beneath the basilica. Benedict became pope in 2005 and was known for his strict interpretation of Catholic Church doctrine. Despite his failures, he was the first pope to meet with victims of sex abuse and to publicly apologize. He was also the first pope to resign in 6 centuries, recognizing, he said, his incapacity to fulfill his ministry due to the strain of old age. Pope Francis championed Benedict's bravery to abdicate his power. He will preside over the funeral of his predecessor on Thursday. Chris Livesay, CBS News, Rome.
One man is using his talents to combat gun violence by serving up hot cups of tea. About 3 hours from here in Richmond, Virginia, one man runs the Love Lounge, a shop that promotes balance by teaching the youth about herbal tea.
On the corner of Clay Street and Brook Road is the Love Lounge. It's a tea and wellness shop started by Brandon Love, also known as B-Love, who sings and dances every time he brews a new batch.
Just in there whipping it up, you know. Gotta put the love in there, gotta put the love in there.
The word love takes a new meaning here, as the space is purposed as a place of peace for children and families living in Richmond's South Side.
We have kids from Hillside who come in, who go to the school right across the street and come in and do meditation for the first time. We had one kid who didn't know that tea came hot, so their first time experiencing hot herbal tea.
Every weekday from 6 to 10 a.m., dozens of students come to try hand-wrapped herbal teas for anxiety or stress and meditate about what's on their mind.
They're going to their day writing, who am I as a person? How do I feel today before they go in and start their day? So even the idea of giving these students an opportunity to work and to serve their community themselves before they go out and start their day, I mean, it's groundbreaking.
It's a pay-what-you-can service since it hits close to home.
My grandmother, she had her time in Gilpin Court. My mother, she used to walk barefoot in Gilpin Court. You know what I'm saying? My family is deeply rooted in this neighborhood. And again, I'm just doing my job and my duty to bridge the gaps that labels create from Southside to Jackson Ward.
This new year, Love's new spot hopes to create a new narrative for this neighborhood.
It's a lot of gun violence, we know that. But if we can not focus on the gun violence and focus on, all right, the solution is wellness. The solution is tapping into the trauma, the pain that's going on here, and really allowing our light to shine, allowing us to be a lighthouse, a beacon of light for all those who need it.
I think that this is a great example of how people in the community can come together to find solutions to combat violence. We always talk about law enforcement isn't doing enough, the schools aren't doing enough, when it really takes us, the community, to do things, the village, and he's using his business to help children. I think, you know, them writing in the journals, learning how to express themselves, learning to understand their feelings, talking about conflict resolution. I mean, that's a great step. So if more people, you know, found their unique way of taking their passion or what they do for a living to help the community, you know, it would be a great place.
Well, and I think what he's doing too, there's something comforting about hot liquids. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like soups and teas, and I think that's like the first step that'll get someone to settle down. Because I actually like tea better than coffee, hot tea. And to sit down and have a cup like that, it's a conversation starter, you know? I love that.
And how easy. I mean, it's just a cup of tea.
Yeah. And just giving these kids an outlet to talk and someone pouring into them and showing them some attention.
You have to start it.
Yeah.
You know, you have to get somebody to start talking and then let the dam open up. You know?
Are y'all tea drinkers? I know you said you are.
Yes.
So I wasn't, and then I watched Ted Lasso. and
they have their tea every day?
They drank tea all the time, and
High
so
tea.
I was like, I'm just going to try it. It's pretty good.
It's really good.
I love tea, so I like loose leaf tea, I like bag tea. So
you have the little metal thing?
I have the metal thing, so I have a couple of them. So I have a cup where I could put the loose leaf and it like strains it inside of the cup. And then I also have like a ball that I can put down into the water. And then I have this scooper thing that I can set on the top of a mug. You know, my family is into tea. My dad is into tea. My sister is into tea. So we've gotten lots of gifts for Christmas that are tea related.
I smell a 2 cents coming.
Oh, maybe.
Yes,
maybe that'll be my idea for Wednesday.
Yes. So have you checked out our 4 to 5 live stream?
You need to.
You should do it right now. I'm in here right now. They actually made me an administrator. So it's gonna be fun. Come and join us. Just search the 4 to 5 Club, right? And just click join group and we will let you in. We'll be right back.
You know, a lot of people kind of getting back into the routine now, so I thought it might be good to look back at December. If you thought, like I did, I thought, you know, December would just seem cold, more so than not, and you would be correct. All the days highlighted with this blue here, those are days where our highs were below average, and then the orangish, reddish looking color, those are above average, and then the white ones are right where we should be, and we only had 7 days above average in the entire month of December, 22 days below average, and 2 at the average temperature. So yes, December was decidedly cold, especially a couple of those nights. You remember we had some single digit and teens overnight lows. Hour by hour tonight, and that's not the case. In fact, you're looking at temperatures for every hour in this particular look at the forecast. They're above what our high temperature should be. And this is going into the overnight. 54 by about 2 a.m. We think by the time you get to that 6, 7 a.m. time period, we'll see some maybe 49s or 50s out there. That's about as cool as we're going to get in the overnight period. Cloud cover will hang pretty tough for us. It's the next system that we're watching. As this gets closer ahead of the front, there's still a decent amount of cloud cover, but mostly cloudy tomorrow. By the way, overnight tonight, fog will be an issue. Visibility over the last couple of nights and mornings was down to below a mile in many reporting areas across the Triad, about 3/4 of a mile to a 1/4 of a mile visibility, to 0 in Surrey County last night. So just know that you could run into that. We might see another fog advisory in the morning. But in the meantime, this system starts to get closer to us. So here's the setup. High pressure off the coast brings winds out of the south. As that front approaches tomorrow, we may see winds pick up. I'll say a gust to 20, 25, not out of the question. Most of that out of the southwest because of the high pressure and the low that's approaching. Winds ahead of a cold front, they always parallel that front, so they'll be coming in this direction out of the south. We think the rain won't start during the day Tuesday. We'll still see highs in the mid-60s. It'll be pretty comfortable. But as that moves through overnight Tuesday night, and pretty much the first half of the day Wednesday, that's when we see that shower activity. And Wednesday, first half of the day, could be the heaviest. Here's what it looks like on high-resolution Futurecast from Charlotte to the Triad. That's at 1 a.m.-ish on Wednesday morning, so overnight tomorrow night. Then the heavier stuff comes in during the day. This is about 9 to 10 o'clock in the morning on Wednesday. And then we're thinking after that, we'll see a quick clear up by Wednesday evening. And then Thursday, we'll start to cool it back down again, because for the next several days, we're going to see high temperatures way above normal. In fact, the overnight low tonight, 49, that's our normal high this time of the year. Yeah, we'll be about 15 degrees above normal on Tuesday. Variably to mostly cloudy, 64 tomorrow. 66, a rainy Wednesday first half of the day. Thursday, partly cloudy, 58, and then we cool down back to normal, although it sounds cool. 49 to 51, the range of highs with sunshine Friday, Saturday, Sunday, even Monday, 52 and partly cloudy.
One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. What time do they do that?
I don't know. It's like expression time.
Hey there, mic check 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hello, hello.
Hi there, Tom. 1, 2, 3. I'm walking back right now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Mic check, 1, 2, 3, 3, 2, 1, 1, 2, 3, 3, 2, 1, mic check.
Take one more step. Thomas, mic check. 1, 2, 3, 3, 2, 1. I will cue you. 3.
I feel so sorry for those poor people who got stuck in the airport over the past week as Southwest Airlines melted down. It started with bad weather, but the real problem was their outdated computer system. Southwest said it couldn't keep up with the changes and everything just crumbled. Industry insiders say some of Southwest systems are decades old. How is that possible? Well, some say Southwest was so busy growing their business that they didn't get around to taking care of their most basic needs. Ain't that the truth for most of us? We get so caught up in trying to run the race, do more for others, buy more, be more at work. Self-care often falls to the back of the to-do list. It is hard to take care of our health or even just to take time to rest and recharge. But Southwest is a powerful example that when you neglect that important task, terrible things can happen. So moving forward into 2023, make sure to make some time for yourself. That's my 2 cents. WFMY News 2 at 5 starts right now.
Relief for a Triad family after a teen missing for more than 24 hours is back home tonight. The 17-year-old with a cognitive impairment disappeared from his Alamance County home early New Year's Day.
A neighbor found him less than a mile from his home. The family told us they hesitated reporting him missing because they thought they had to wait a certain amount of time. WFMY News 2's Amber Lake spoke with law enforcement to clear up the misconception.
Like you said, it's a misconception that a lot of people believe. You have to wait 24 hours before